gents? Welcome to TSG Uncut. I am your host, Sean C. Today, I'm joined with my co-host, Janine. She's back again to review another video with me. We have 2 videos to review today.
One of the biggest turning points in a nice guy's life is when he starts to realize he's not so nice. When he starts to realize that the people-pleasing, the doing everything for everyone else, the lack of boundaries, the always saying yes, the enabling to behaviors he doesn't like just to keep the peace, isn't actually helping but hurting the people he loves and himself. Ironically, when he stops focusing on being such a nice guy and actually just asks for his wants and needs, everybody around him benefits because the subtle manipulation stops and he starts living a life of more integrity.
Today's subject, if you couldn't get it from that, is we're talking about nice guy versus good guys. This is an argument that has been going on for a while, especially in the manosphere circles. You have a bunch of guys who are quick to say, well, I'm a nice guy. Why don't women talk to me?
I agree. As a nice woman, I have fallen into that category for a very, very long time. And it's only recently that I'm like, you know what? What have I been getting in return for me being so nice? And I'm sure it's the same for men. Like sometimes you have to sit back and say, am I being fulfilled? Is somebody filling my cup while I'm so busy emptying it? Who do I go and talk to? Who do I trust?
This woman was talking about nice guys that like, hey, I'm a nice guy. But what she's saying is that nice guys aren't really nice guys. They are men that will do whatever it takes to please you. They just want to please you so much. They're not really voicing inside what's going on in the inside. So they'll do so much for you, but maybe their needs are getting neglected. And so what happens is, in order for them to get what they need from you, they actually wind up resorting to manipulation tactics, and or they've suppressed what they're feeling so much until that nice guy, all of a sudden you're like, you ain't really a nice guy, you're a jerk. Because they suppressed it. So it just springs out like it just, ski. And you have a bunch of people out there saying, well, I'm a nice guy. Why isn't this working for me? Whereas the argument is they should be good men, not necessarily nice guys. Mm-hmm. Do you want to be with a man who just does everything you want him to do? Just everything. No boundaries. Just no. Well, why not?
And I know that's an unpopular opinion.
It might be from some women.
Very unpopular. I need to be stimulated in some way. If every time you just like, yes, Janine, sure, Janine, yeah. I'm gonna be like, especially because then there will be times that I want to hear your opinion about things. I may really actually need some direction on something. And if you're just like, well, whatever you want to do.
Whatever you like.
I want someone exactly like me. I want a difference in opinion. I want to hear another perspective. I want to say, whoa, I know how I feel about it. I wonder how he feel about it. It might be totally, different from what I think. I don't care for the yes man of the world.
I know that some women have an ideal of the type of dude that they want in their head. And some women have a list of what that guy should look like. Financially, how tall, what he look like. But I think for every other guy who doesn't fall in that, right? He's not the top 20% of guys. They're the guys that's winning. But for every other guy, you'll see modern women today want to be able to control or manipulate that dude. Whereas their ideal guy, a woman will melt for.
If you are interested in a man who is considered a nice guy, be careful. Here's why. There is a major difference in a nice guy versus a good guy. The nice guys, 99% of the time, their personality is fake so that they can get something that they want. You will notice common characteristics in them: saying yes all the time, being super easygoing, never setting boundaries or speaking their mind. Even if they are not trying to get something out of you, what will happen is resentment will build up in them and they will hate you and be angry at you for them not being able to speak their mind and say what they need. A good guy, this is the type of guy that you want to go for. He is the one who is led by his integrity, by his values, and his morals. He is genuinely a good man. You will notice characteristics about him. He has no problem setting boundaries. He speaks his mind. He has self-respect and self-love. He is able to love you fully. Do not date a nice guy. Instead, choose a good guy.
A good man is still going to look out for you. He has his own mind.
Yes.
And by him speaking his mind and setting boundaries, he's not suppressing anything because he's being real about it. He's either getting what he needs, and if he isn't, he's going to tell you. Whereas a nice guy is trying to please everybody so much, typically they're not speaking out. It's almost like there's a sense of entitlement there too. Well, I'm a nice guy, so women should like me for that. I'm doing everything. That's not a desirable trait because it doesn't fulfill you in the long run.
If women nowadays are wanting this man who's in charge and he's making the money and he's taking care of you, but then at the same time you want like the puppy dog.
It's a contradiction because when a good man comes along, and dare I say a man, a lot of these women don't know what to do with a man. Like a lot of women just aren't used to that, especially with this newer generation because they just don't know. I think that some women lose out on good men because when those men come, they're not going to be a pushover. And I saw a video clip where a woman was like, well, I'm used to men always doing what I want them to do. You know, they always give me the princess treatment. And she says, when a man doesn't do that and treat me like a princess, then I get rid of him.
Because you're kind of like, why he not? I asked him to go get me a daiquiri. Why he didn't bring me away? You watch the pattern, right? Again, patterns. Most of us fall into that, but he's not treating me any more special than anybody else. And then that makes you more curious because you're like, I'm going to make sure he going to treat me different.
You don't want to be treated just like everybody else because then that wouldn't make you special. Or it makes you feel like, well, I'm just disposable at that point. Make sure you check out the links in the description down below. Go to valueyourvibes.com and make sure you go to designsbydestiny.com. Use promo code TSG Uncut. Get 10% off. And this good woman right here is going to provide you with what you need. She's going to take care of you. That I promise.